Hello, I'm Woodrow Wilcox. Thank you for coming to my website, citizenwoodrow.tv. Today, I want to discuss the importance of the process of electing and the process of mailing ballots to voters, which I think is a very bad idea. And I want to explain it because if we believe in democracy, we believe everyone should have one vote, then we only mean citizens of that district need one vote to vote in that district. I'm telling you this because I have been a precinct committeeman and I look at the logistics of whatever the law or the election process is. And I thought the best way to illustrate this is to actually draw something for you. So please, watch while I draw and explain what I mean. Here, I'm going to pretend I've drawn a fourplex. There are two people living here, two people living in this unit, two people living in this unit, and two people living in this unit. Now, if they're citizens, then they all have the right to vote, okay? But what happens to the people that moved out or the people who used to live in those apartments and died? They're still on the books as voters. So watch what happens. Let's say two people lived in here for 2 years, then two people before them lived there for 2 years, then two people lived in that apartment for 2 years. And the same with this. And the same with this. And the same with the last apartment. Now, let's say that all of these people, when they lived in those apartments, they registered to vote. But they moved away. They're not living in this precinct anymore. They're not living at this fourplex. What if you mail ballots to these addresses for these people to vote? What if their names are still on the voter list, but they're not living there? Well, if you do mail ballots to all these people, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legitimate votes back. But you have the potential of 6, 12, 18, 24 votes that are bad votes. The people have moved away or died. They don't live in these apartments anymore. They don't live in that precinct. They're not real voters of that precinct. Can you see? State by state, there are different processes for removing people's names from the voter list. When my father passed away, he was visiting me in Las Vegas. He passed away, and then we had to bring his body back here for burial. The local government would not remove his name from the list of voters because he did not die in Indiana. They had no certificate of death from an Indiana government official. So different states have different rules for removing names from the voter list. In this situation, if you sent ballots by mail to all these people, the living people, the legitimate voters, would be outnumbered 6 to 2, or 3 to 1, with bad votes. Now, it could be that the people receiving these at this address could use them to vote multiple times, or it could be that they could throw it away and that somebody could go dumper diving in the trash and get the votes and then cast the votes and send them back. In either way, it's not a proper democratic way of doing things. You need to remove the names of people who no longer vote, who no longer live in the precinct or at the address that is being affected by the election. I suggest that something be done about this in order to prevent this diluting of the value of the legitimate vote. I propose that every landlord in the country be legally obligated to list all the adults in each unit. when someone starts renting, they have to file to say these people live at this unit and check that against the voter rolls. And then also at the same time, inform the same body, the same government office, and these people no longer live here. They have moved out, or they've died, or something like that. Put that burden on the landlords so that they have a legitimate reason to want to know who is renting their property anyway. They have a legitimate reason to know who the adults are in that apartment or rental unit. So put the burden on them. They're keeping the records anyway as to who's renting from them. Make it so that they have to report who has moved in, and maybe make it so they file within 30 or 60 days, and make it so they say who has left that unit, that address, within 30 or 60 days. And that way, the voter rolls are going to be more accurate, and it's going to be more difficult for either sending ballots to people who no longer live at that address, or for other people to find their names and know that they're no longer at that address or anywhere in the precinct and vote in the names of people. And that's one of the reasons why you really need to have the enforcement of IDs showing that the person actually lives in the precinct in which they're voting. Just a quick reminder, if you want to see what actually happened in the election in 2020, find and watch the movie 20,000 Mules by Dinesh D'Souza. He did a lot of research. He even has videos of people putting multiple mail-in ballots in post office boxes. So I encourage you, watch that movie. And Dinesh D'Souza, you did a great job. But I think it needed to be more explained a little more simply in these terms too. So I hope you appreciate what I did. That's my view. I'm Woodrow Wilcox. Hope you like that.